And people around the world are expected to feel the impact of all of this. Just today, France's industry minister said Europe will respond, but he's looking to calm things down. He said, quote, because trade wars, only produce losers, end quote. Anna Coren is in Hong Kong following the reaction from China. But let's begin with our Weijia Jiang standing by at the White House where this announcement will be made. Weijia, good morning to you. Do we have a greater sense yet of specifically what the president will announce?
Well, the White House and President Trump have been extremely disciplined about not revealing exactly what he will announce today in a Rose Garden ceremony. However, we do know that they say the tariffs will go into effect immediately, and that is a part of why so many industries are concerned, because usually they need some time to figure out how this is going to change their bottom line, to figure out, things like customs forms, to figure out how they are going to change their supply chain. What we don't know yet, Errol, is exactly what companies will be impacted. You can see on your screen here that we do expect those countries that have the biggest trade deficits with the U.S. to be impacted, like China, the EU, Mexico, Switzerland, and Vietnam, because top economic aides have hinted at that. As for a rate, President Trump has said it could actually be a lot lower than what countries currently tack on to American exports. But again, we don't have any of the nitty-gritty details. But at 4 o'clock, the president is expected to make all those clear.
And Weijia, business owners still have to make decisions for the long term, investments. What are they saying about today's announcement?
Well, Errol, it really is the uncertainty that has consumers worried, and in turn that is impacting business owners who are also thinking about all these materials that they are purchasing from other countries and how the prices could go up. So all week we've talked to people from various industries, automakers, construction companies. Recently, we spoke with a restaurant owner in Virginia who says he buys 40% of his seafood from Virginia. So he's not quite sure how that's going to impact his business, but he is sure that consumers are going to have to pay more and that he might have to have less labor, less staff. So that could mean fewer jobs. So, Errol, again, because we don't know the specifics, we don't know how it will ultimately impact various businesses, but there is so much concern, and we're already seeing rising prices in many sectors because they want to brace themselves for these potentially big changes.
Yeah, rising prices, almost the only guarantee at this point. Weijia Jiang with the latest. Thank you for that. Let's take a look at the international reaction to these impending tariffs. You're looking at CBS News foreign correspondent Anna Coren, joining us from Hong Kong. Anna, good morning to you. Certain Chinese economic interests are already being affected by these further U.S. tariffs. How so, and how might Beijing respond today?
Well, Errol, China is very much bracing itself for higher tariffs. We have to remember in the last 2 months, China's been hit with 20%. Many economists believe it will rise by another 10 to 20%. Others are saying that if President Trump can do a deal with China over TikTok, which is what he wants for China to authorize the sale of TikTok to a U.S. owner, then maybe those tariffs won't be so high. But it is all a guessing game. China has the largest trade surplus with the United States, and that is a constant source of irritation and frustration, not just for President Trump, but for the China hawks in his administration. Well, we heard from China's Foreign Minister Wang Yi. He was in Moscow on an official visit there to Russia, and I want to read to you what he said, quote, if the U.S. persists in pressuring and blackmailing China over the tariffs, the Chinese side will be resolute in its countermeasures. Now, China has responded at every single turn with retaliatory tariffs. We've seen them hit the United States with U.S. goods, obviously agricultural products. They've blacklisted U.S. companies, and then they've also placed export restrictions on critical minerals. So China this time round, Errol, much better prepared for whatever the United States is going to throw at it. Compare that to how it reacted in 2018 when it was caught off guard when President Trump began this trade war.
Yeah, and the U.S. and Chinese economies so intertwined. Anna Coren, thank you for that.